Okay, what I have here is a Craftsman. It's a Craftsman convertible weed eater. And the reason why they call it a convertible is because it comes loose right here and that whole weed eater string comes off, and you can put different attachments on there such as a circular saw or a hedge trimmer. I have both of those items as well. It's pretty nice. The purpose of this video is twofold. I'm actually going to show you a couple different things. The first thing that I was wanting to record is I've had trouble with this weed eater running, especially at idle, for quite some time, probably a year to 2 years. And I don't use it a ton, but when I use it, what I normally end up having to do is run it with the choke on, like that. And when I go to squeeze the throttle, as you can see when I squeeze the throttle, the choke resets. It runs at a very high RPM, as most small equipment does when the choke is on. But when I go to squeeze the trigger, the throttle, it dies on me, or it's really difficult to keep running. So I tried to adjust the carburetor throttle a little bit, and that didn't really help a whole lot. But what I did notice is this primer ball had a big crack in it, which typically that just helps you get the thing started. It wouldn't really necessarily cause you to suck in more air, but anyway, I had to take care of that. And so when I was taking care of this, which I ordered on Sears Direct, I believe is where I got that, I found that the way to change this out is you got to take out 4 different screws. One here, one here, one here, and one right there. That was actually missing. It must have just vibrated out, I don't know. But let me take these out and I'll show you what I found on the inside. What you'll need to take those out is probably the T25 Torx bit. So if you have a T25, that's what you'll use on all 4 of these screws. Okay, once you get those 4 out, this red cover just lifts right off. It's not very difficult at all. You just got to work it off of there. I am going to go ahead and take this off too. Or also, rather. Okay, actually I had already made this video once and then I accidentally deleted it, but I really wanted to show people what to look for if they're having problems keeping this weed eater running properly. So anyway, when I was in here changing this bulb out, which you do have to take this cover off to get to the primer bulb, if you look on the inside here, you will see there's 2 tabs on the inside of that primer bulb that you have to squeeze in, and then the primer bulb just pulls out this way once you squeeze those 2 tabs in. But anyway, that didn't really help my problem as far as it not wanting to run smoothly. But when I was in there changing that out, what I did notice is this little throttle body boot, rubber boot right here, has all kind of cracks in it all the way around. And so I assumed that it was just causing the carburetor to suck too much air. So I went ahead and I ordered another one. As you can see, as I mentioned, I've already done the video once, so I've already changed it out. Very easy to change out. Basically, all I did was just took a screwdriver in here and just pried it back. And then I did the other side too and pried it back. Put a screwdriver underneath here and just pried up in the center, and it just popped right off. So you might have to fiddle around with that a little bit, but there's nothing that holds it on other than it just slips on each end of the small little boot. So it's pretty easy to take off of there. And then when you go to put the new one in its place, since it is tight quarters in there, basically what you'll want to do is you'll want to bend it in 2, kind of like this, and get one side started, and then the other side, if you get it lined up, once you release it, it should just pop right on. Mine did anyway after I had it lined up, but pinching it was kind of the key to get it in there and get it started. So hopefully you can do that and yours will go on as easy as mine did. So I changed that out and it ran much better. So that was definitely my problem. My old filter, though, from poor mixture and too much air flowing and stuff, because I really don't take the time to mix my gas properly the way I should. You can see my air filter was getting pretty plugged up with gas and whatnot. But I went ahead and changed it out too, and it did improve it even more. But the main improvement was definitely with that boot. I can run it now without the choke being on. I haven't been able to do that for quite some time. So definitely a huge improvement, and I'm happy with it. I mean, a lot of times these small 2-cylinder engines don't want to stay running at idle anyway too much, but man, as long as you can keep your hand on the throttle and at least give it a little bit of gas and it stay running pretty smoothly, then that's much better than having to run it really high RPM with the choke on all the time, because that's not good on the engine, and who just wants to hear that loud revving engine sound with the choke on anyway, right? So here's the part numbers I want to show you that are ordered for both of those. It is the carb boot adapter, 545190501, and then the air filter is 545195901. You can pause it if you need to write those down or look at that. But those are the part numbers you'll want to order for the Craftsman convertible. And then if you look up underneath here, you can also see that the model number is 358.9. I'm sorry, 358.791140. Hope this helps someone. I'm gonna put it back together now. It goes together pretty easy, like I said, with just them 4 screws. So it definitely runs much better now that I've changed those 2 things out. I will demonstrate it for you here real quick. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to demonstrate it for you before, but you can just imagine every time I'd squeeze the throttle, the thing would choke off and die. Run it much smoother now. Definitely worth the small investment. I think I paid $15 with shipping and everything. So hope this video helps.